Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Sadaqallahu. My dear respected elders and brothers, yesterday we were speaking about ta'awudh, where we are seeking protection in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the shaitan who is cursed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mentioned also yesterday that Allah wa ta'ala is teaching us a very important point in life, and that is we should always make sure that we are protecting ourselves from the harms, and this is even before we start going into things that benefit us. In the Arabic language they say دَفْعُ مُضَرَّ مُقَدَّمٌ عَلَى جَلْبِ النَّافَعِ. And to protect yourself from the mudarrar, for the things that harm you, it's more important many a time than seeking those things that benefit you. Because if it hurts you and something is harming you, so how can you even get any benefit from anything? So Allah wa ta'ala, by starting off with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, He is making ishara, and Allah ta'ala is indicating this to us. We also talked about the reason and importance why Allah ta'ala has done this, because logically it should be such that we should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and then A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Start with the name of Allah ta'ala, then shaitan we ask protection from. But the reason for this is that Allah ta'ala wants to let us know that when you are reading the Quran, it should never be such, and the scenario should never be there, that shaitan starts putting some waswas, some whispers in you about Quran. If he puts whispers in you about something else, then we say, A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajeem, فَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran, when the shaitan tries to entice you and do something to you, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ, then you should ask for the protection from shaitan, and ask for the protection from shaitan in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the powerful thing. A person should never be jari, and a person should never be bold or think that has a lot of courage and try to challenge shaitan. We should ask Allah wa ta'ala to save us from the fitna of shaitan. Seek protection in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we do that, then the situation becomes easy, and shaitan, he becomes very, very powerless. Because Allah Ta'ala has not made it that shaitan has power over us. He cannot force us to do anything. All he can do is entice us. Mullah Ali Qari has given a very beautiful and good example. And one of our ustads of the Mashayikh of South Africa, Muhammad Hamid Sahib, used to always mention this example. Mullah Ali Qari says that shaitan, he is actually the dog of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala ka kutta. He is the dog of Allah Ta'ala. And what does he mean? He used to say and give the example that, for example, here in Pennsylvania, sometimes our next door neighbors, they have big dogs. And we are going there, and when we go near that dog, we are very, very scared. The pit bull, the Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Doberman Pinscher, these are very big dogs, not the small one. Small one you can kick like the football, no problem, and get it away, if you have to protect yourself. But the big dog, everybody's scared of the big dog. We are scared to walk next to it, and when it starts barking, we are running away from it. But what happens is, sometimes we see the dog and he's fierce and he's looking at us and he's barking, but then the owner comes. When the owner comes, so all of a sudden that fierce dog, his ears go down, his tail starts wagging, and almost that dog that looked like he was going to bite your head off a minute ago, now he's smiling. And now you get so much himmat because the owner is there, you get so much courage that now you put your hand out and start rubbing that dog's head and put your hand near his mouth and you start petting him. Why? Because the owner is there. So this is the point of Mullah Ali Qari. In the same way, the shaitan, he is sometimes causing great pareshani and difficulty in us. He's whispering and saying all the wrong things. Us ourselves, by ourselves, we become fearful. We cannot fight him. We cannot get rid of him, no matter what we try. So what do? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bring the one who's qadir. Bring the owner of shaitan. When you bring the owner of shaitan, then shaitan cannot do anything to you. So this is why Mullah Ali Qari says that shaitan, he is like the dog of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala owns him. He's the owner of shaitan. And just say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. When Allah Ta'ala comes in the picture, then the shaitan, he runs away. And he becomes tamed, and he will not do anything to you. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He tells us not only before the recitation of the Quran, but whenever shaitan happens to try and entice us and tries to do something to us, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Make the isti'adha and say, أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. In this will be our protection. We also mentioned yesterday that the Quran, it is a dream for anybody who actually knows the reality of it. Because we said yesterday that if you asked anybody who's ready to take a test, for example, the madrasa students, they have a test coming up. And mashallah, our alim course students, they are studying right now and they are not here. But if we ask the Hifz boys, for example, that okay, tomorrow is your Quran Hifz test and open book. You have to read from Para 13. You can go inside and you can look and read. So how happy they'd be. They say, mashallah, this is a very, very easy test. In the same way, Allah wa ta'ala, this hayat dunya, this life that He's given us, which is a test, it's a trial. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Big test. Allah Ta'ala has put us on a big test here. How are we going to pass this test? What are the answers? It's in the Quran. And in regards to shaitan also, Allah Ta'ala has already told us about the result and the end point of shaitan, so that we can be very clear and know that we should not be duped and we should not be tricked into his tricks. Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرِ. The ulama say that on the day of Qiyamah there will be two bayans. One bayan is the bayan of Isa ibn Maryam. Isa, the son of Maryam, radiallahu anha. And Isa, alayhi salam, he will express and tell to all of the people that I never told you that my mother, and I never told you that I am God. I never said this. In kuntuhu faqad alimta. If Allah Ta'ala, if I said this, you know it already. You know, I'd never said this to anybody. And Isa alayhi salam will express it in front of all the Christians and all the people who thought that he was God. He will say, I did not do this. And the second bayan will be that of shaitan. And Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he says that he'll be sitting on a pulpit made out of fire. He'll be sitting on a pulpit made out of fire. Like this. This is like a pulpit on a chair. And he will be sitting on the fire. And of course, Ibn Abbas has said this himself, but these type of sayings of the Sahaba, the Muhaddithin say, that they can never get this from themselves. How would he know that shaitan's sitting on fire? He got this than none other than Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He heard this from him, obviously. And the shaitan, he will give the bayan on the day of Qiyamah. Like I'm giving bayan today, I don't want to compare myself with shaitan now, but like I'm giving the talk and things like this, shaitan will give talk to all the people of Qiyamah, but he will do it لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرِ. All the people of Jannat are going to Jannat, all the people of Jahannam are going to Jahannam, and shaitan will say, Tero, everybody wait. Right. One last talk I want to give to you. I want to say one last thing to you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَعَدَكُمْ وَعَدَ الْحَقِّ. Allah Ta'ala, He promised you the truth. وَوَعَدْتُكُمْ, and I promised you a lot of stuff also. فَأَخْلَفْتُكُمْ, and I went against my promise. What were the things that made you get messed up? وَمَا كَانَ لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ إِلَّا أَنْ دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي. I didn't have any power over you. Only thing I did is I said something to you and you followed me. That's all I did. You should do like this. And you said, okay, all right. A person, his father is telling him, do like this, not listening. The law is telling him, do like this, I go against the law. Everybody's telling him, his teacher's telling him, do like this. And he has to understand it, and he has so many questions and so many complaints, and has so much doubts. But the shaitan just says, go do that. Yes, I'll do it, sir. Yes, sir. All I did was just put in your ear the idea, فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي, and you answered me. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Shaitan will tell everybody, don't blame me, blame your own self. مَا أَنَا بِمُصْرِخِكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ بِمُصْرِخِي. You cannot save me, I cannot save you. And like this, all those people who were the followers of Shaitan, they will go to Jahannam and he will join them also. إِنَّمَا يَدْعُو حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. Sometimes you get the drug dealer, the person who's a murderer, crazy. You ask him, why are you doing this? He doesn't know why. I don't care. I sell the drug, I don't care. I want to make the money. I murder the people, I don't care. Shaitan bhi ek majnoon hai. He's crazy. And what does he want? Everybody must go to the Jahannam with me. This is his purpose. I'm going Jahannam, and all insan must go with me. This is his only purpose, no other thing. إِنَّمَا يَدْعُو حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ, so that they can be from the people of the fire. May Allah Ta'ala protect us from the whispers of shaitan. May Allah Ta'ala protect us from the fires of Jahannam. And may Allah Ta'ala give us the ability and tawfiq to recite this A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem when Shaitanir Rajeem, when he starts whispering to us and wants us to do wrong and tries to put things in our heart, we recite this, we'll be protected by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Wa akhir da'wan alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam.